Hey guys, it's Mark from North 7 Outdoors. Welcome back to another episode. This week we have stop number 3, which is Weslemkoon Lake. Yeah, super excited about this lake. I fished it enough that I didn't have to pre-fish it. I kind of just had to think about it logically, where I wanted to start, where I wanted to finish, and everything in between, and what time of the year. I've spent enough time on that body of water that I should know where the fish are at the time of day and at the time of year. So that's just how I pre-fished last week, was thinking about logically where I wanted to start fishing, how I wanted to catch them, where I wanted to catch them. So that was my pre-fishing. Didn't do too much other than think about it rationally. So I get there super early, had a horrible night's sleep the night before, anxiety, excitement, all that stuff that keeps you up. You know, I went to bed like 8 o'clock and I probably fell asleep from like 11:30 to 3 a.m. Got up, figured the marina was going to be a zoo, so I decided to get there early. I knew the marina parking was going to be probably an issue, because I wasn't sure, like most marinas, so they were just like, you want to host a tournament here? Yeah, we'll take your money. We got parking, 5 miles down the road. I wasn't sure how they were going to play out. I didn't want to find out though, so I got there super early. Got to the ramp, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, what's going on here? There's a truck and a boat at the ramp, and it's just parked there. I'm like, I can't even launch my boat if I want to, so I'm like, I got to figure out what the hell's going on. Like, don't they know there's a tournament there? So I walk down to the truck, and there's two younger guys, and they're sleeping in their truck. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe they've driven a long way, and they're having a quick power nap here, so I'll let them be until another person shows up, and I'll tell them they've got to launch their boat. The show's here. Time to get on the road. So I go back to the truck, I rig up, and another person comes in. And I'm like, okay, guys, you got to get up now, launch your boat, so, everyone can start launching their boats. And every tournament anyone's ever fished, there's always a bottleneck at ramping. It always takes a long time. So yeah, stop number 3, Weslemkoon. Was a little worried about how this was going to play out. I've struggled in the last couple weeks. I think I've mentioned getting consistent quality bites. I didn't have a partner this week. Originally it was a 2-day event, and I was going to fish with my brother-in-law. It became a 1-day event. I'm like, I can't ask him to drive all that way for 1 day. Had a couple other partners that I've asked in the past if they wanted to, but they've ended up falling through for whatever reason, so I fished by myself today, which wasn't a big deal. I knew the spots on the lake that I wanted to hit, and I was just hoping that the right fish were there, and I was there at the right time. So we get there, and I get to my spot that I want to fish at, and I throw a jerkbait. There's been I don't know if it's been a cold front or what have you be, but it was about 11 degrees Canadian in my car, and that was pretty cold. So I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. I'm at a spot where I have caught, some 2-ish pound smallmouth on before, so I'm like, let's see what happens. Throw a jerkbait. There you go. start throwing the drop shot and I hook into a really good fish. Oh my god, he broke me off. Oh my lord. That was probably at least 4 pounds. Oh my god. I gotta get my leg together. And it broke me off. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. I didn't set the drag right. I'm usually like the guy that always sets the drag right. I guess I really didn't get enough sleep. So I decided to throw the wacky worm around there. So there to get a freaking... Okay, he's back. I'll keep anyways. I don't think he's massive. Might be 2 and change. Does he have my drop shot rig on him too? No. Well, he's 12 anyways. Keeper number 1. That guy felt huge. The other guy felt like he's 4 pounds. Alright, little 14-inch chubby guy. Put him in the live well. Alright, that guy didn't have my drop shot rig on, which means there's another good fish over here. So they could be schooling at the very least. Oh, got another one. He just had the worm on him. He didn't get a hook in him, so he must have just had the worm in him. Took my worm. Might be schooling up here. Man, I can't believe I just broke off a giant fish. 8-pound test. Hey Mark, only make sure your 8-pound fluorocarbon drop shot rig is got a separate appropriate drag set for it. Oh no, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. That guy's a giant. Is he a giant or is he 2 pounds? Feels like he's a giant. I think he's 3. I think he's 3. In the boat. Alright. Nice 2 and change anyways. He's a good fish. He's 2.5 probably. Alright, so we got 1, a 2.5, and we 1.5, a 2.5, and we broke off on a good fish. So I think they're schooling here. Throw that guy in the drop. Live well. Okay, we're off to a good start. Minus that one break off, but that's okay. I got a Ned rig too, so we'll probably stay a little longer here. Okay, let's get some more plastics in here. This wacky BB bomb should work well. he'll keep too. Okay, he's probably 3 pounds, 3 and a bit maybe. Alright. There we go. Alright, so we're off to 3 for 7 pounds, not bad. Whew. First cast on that bugger. Switching up. So, all the fish I caught there were caught within, everything happened there within 16 minutes or so. And I've got 3 for about 7 pounds in my head, I'm thinking. I've got 2 decent ones and 1 stubby one that I would like to upgrade. I lost a good one on the drop shot, so I'm like, shoot, I should have had 4 for 11 right now. I should have, you know, a good start. But every fish I caught, I looked for the drop shot rig, but I couldn't find the hook or anything in them. And I missed one on a worm there. I actually think the one on the worm I might have missed a good one there. Nothing I could have done about that one. It just got the worm. I'm thinking there was a school of a few 3-ish pound largies hanging around there. Off camera, you know, I fished that for like another 40-50 minutes. I probably spent an hour there. He won't go tomorrow. No. Little guy under that tree, and that tree is so important because it's rock bottom. And there's a transition here, so fish are schooling on that rock. Everything I caught of decent size were on the rock. So I'm like, okay, you know what? This spot went better than planned. I thought I'd get 1 3-pound largie is what I was hoping for. So I'm like, all right, let's make a move. So I made a move, and I'm like, okay, so this is another spot. I go there, and I catch this guy. Good one, if he's not caught in the weeds. Should keep. Yeah, he'll keep. Good, I don't know, pound the third maybe. He was certainly caught in the weeds, a little bit of salad there. There we go. Little, I don't know, 14-incher. Put a call tag on that guy. Probably the smallest, but we'll see. Alright, we got 4. We got 4. Oh, guy. A little smallie. I was hoping to maybe get my hands on a 6 pound smallmouth with all this rock, or, you know, even a rogue largemouth eating you guys, but I got that thing. Oh, okay. Guys, 3 and a bit. Alright guys, that's the limit fish. We've got a good bag so far. That probably puts us at 11 pounds. I'm just going to put a bump board on this guy so I know how big he is. I'm thinking he's probably 17 change. Yeah, he's 17. So probably 3 and a bit. Okay guys, so we've got our bag. It's 8:51 in the morning. We lost a good one. We probably got 11 pounds. Man, that's freaking dead even. I guess Red is the next guy to call out. This guy broke my call tag. Broke my little cheap plastic one. I don't like to use through call tags. Okay, so we've got our limit fish. We've got 2 that we call out. We call out 2, the right 2, and we're sitting at close to 15 pounds, which ain't bad for one person. And this lake's been, I only fished it once, but she hasn't been too great to me. The guy's got the hook in it. I don't like leaving lures or hooks in fish, but you know, I'm not an expert. So, you know, do what you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable getting that hook out of there, then do it. But I mean, I'm trying to keep my fish alive because it's pathetic and it's embarrassing to weigh in dead fish. We've all done it, but it doesn't change what it is. All right, let's hook another one. So I move out of there. It's 9 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, the sun's up high. Let's go to the north end, and we'll fish some parts of the channel and under some docks and that. So I go there, and it's like the first spot I want to fish, there's a boat on it. Maybe a couple 100 meters past them is another decent spot. There's a boat on there. The stretch of docks I want to start at, there's a boat there. So I end up fishing a stretch of docks that I've never really had luck on, but I'm like, alright, well, anything could happen. So I start fishing that stretch of docks. And, you know, I only fished like 3 or 4 docks, and then another boat's fishing the other way is also fishing docks, and then I fished back to the marina, a couple docks there, just some docks that I've had luck getting a couple fish underneath them. Nothing there, so I stop at the marina, get some ice because it's hot out there, and I'm like, well, no one wants to be the loser that bringing a bunch of dead fish, so I'm like, better keep these guys cold. So I bring the ice, throw it in the live well, put some D-juice in there, recirculate it, and keep them cooler than I was on the water. Ooh, I got some sun there. So first 2 spots of my day, all the way to 9 o'clock, went textbook. Tried to go to the third part. It was a zoo. You know, even after I went to the marina, there's a couple spots. Just a no-name spot. It's on the shoreline that I've had luck at putting some limit fish in the boat, and I'm like, you know what, let's fish these. Even then, I ran into some boats, so I'm like, holy, like, this is a zoo on the north end. So I'm like, let's go back to the south end. So I get to the south end channel, one of the channels there, at 11. So I'm like, alright, well, I've still got 4.5 hours. We can get this done. Not a zoo. There was boat traffics there, but I got to fish the spots I wanted to fish, largely. I just couldn't get anything together. Probably spent an hour there, which would take me to noon. Then I went back to the spot where I caught the schooling fish. Tried that, nothing. Went into the channel there, didn't catch anything there. Worthwhile. There's probably an hour and a half left, so I decided, you know what, there's a laydown I've always seen, I've never fished it, so I'm like, let's go there, let's try these laydowns. I caught a few fish. I would probably fish there in the morning. Next time I go to Weslemkoon, I'll probably just drive right there, because it's so close to the launch. Didn't catch anything worthwhile there. I thought maybe I'd have a chance, but no, nothing that was going to help. Then with an hour or 45 minutes left, I just kind of bummed around the bogs. I didn't know that the tournament director had already dumped his fish and was just waiting at the dock to do weigh-ins. So I definitely would have probably weighed in an hour earlier if I could have. I was just killing time.
But I have a history of either being right on or way off. There is the way off. Sorry, man. I thought the wind would just go like this. It didn't.
Broke off on my first fish I had on.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
Did you start on that tree where I saw you in the morning?
I never saw you, so I don't know.
I saw you. You went into the sun. Are you serious? The first throw of the day, and it's gone. You got troubles?
Did a lot of people weigh in early and get out, or?
Everybody just dipped early.
Oh, really?
I'll go for a swim there. What's that? Yellow and black, but barely any yellow.
All right. My guess is right around 11.
Third place is the stand.
Oh. Well, now I wish I got that one I broke off on. It would have put me closer to 14.
This actually feels heavier than you're thinking.
Oh.
5, all alive.
Yeah. Yeah, I broke off the first one, the drop shot, and then I got 3.
15.
Oh, wow. Oh, shit. That would have put me at close to 15. Oh, not bad for a solo adventure.
Not bad at all.
I think we did okay. I think we did 7th or 8th solo. By, 7 or 8th out of 30-ish, so not horrible by any means. I had my chance for a decent bag, I only made one mistake all day. It was just breaking off on the drop shot rod, which sucks. But, I was hard enough on myself, I'll let it go. I don't think it wouldn't have made me into the money. It would have put me in 5th or 4th place. And if that worm fish that I lost was also right around 3 pounds, I could have snuck in there for 3rd. But I mean, that worm fish, it could have been, a 1 pound. It could have been a 1 pound largemouth that was just hanging around a bunch of 3s. I don't know. But I have a feeling that it was about 4 3 pound largemouth, and I don't know, a 1.5 pound largemouth. Regrets. Not fishing clean was a big regret. Other than that, that's losing the first big fish of a day in a tournament and I've done it last year, has spiraled me out of control to making stupid mistakes. So I'm glad that it didn't ruin my day, because I've let stupid mistakes like that ruin my day on the water. So I'm glad it didn't ruin my day. I was able to overcome that. 2 things that I wish I had changed up. I can really only think of one definitely that I would have changed up, which was I knew the water was going to be slick calm most of the day. And there was a plan in my head that if I didn't catch anything by like 11:30, like worthwhile, didn't have any remnants to a bag or pieces of a bag that you're trying to upgrade, but you have a couple there. Like I had 3 fish to a bag. I needed to get rid of 2. So my bag was there essentially. I just needed to add a couple pieces to it. But in my mind, thinking about how I wanted to fish that lake this time around, I had rigged up some swim baits and, drop shot rod. I had a power shotting rod on there. I was going to commit myself, if I didn't do a good enough job in the morning, to just hope for some giant smallmouth. Because I've seen some 6-pound class smallmouth weighed in on tournaments. I've never seen like a bag of them weighed in. Worthwhile. Maybe that was a regret. I don't know. Maybe that was a mistake, not dedicating myself to smallmouth for the last few hours. One regret, if I could do it all over again, was after I went to the marina and was going back to the south end. If I had stopped in some back bays that I haven't fished in a few years, I felt like they could have had fish on them. I haven't spent any time there in a couple of years, but I did fish new water at the end of the day, but sometimes, you just gotta try things, so maybe that was the best I had put myself in position to do. I don't know. Anyways, not horrible by any means. That was stop number 3. Thank you guys for watching, and take care.